Good morning to the DMV. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it. And y'all hear my theme music in the background going on. Well, today, honey, we got a good show for you. Like we always have a good show every day. Today, we're gonna talk about that repressed anger. Like can you have you ever been in a situation? I'm gonna give you a for example. Like you're driving down the road, right? And this car speeds in front of you and cuts you off, and just to make it to the next light that you at the next light, you like, why are you doing all of this for speeding? And you get angry because they almost hit you, cause a collision just to sit at the light with you, right? So in your mind, you be like, man, I hope I hope you run out of gas. But knowing me and my crazy stuff, I'm like, I hope you run out of gas at a gas station. Because I don't want to wish nothing bad on nobody or curse nobody, because I do believe that stuff going back to you, and that's just anger because you're dealing with the emotion and the feeling of that time, or say, oh, I hope you fall and bust your head on a pillow, something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that good old anger, and when you feel that people taking advantage of you, or the system is beating you down or something, or you just don't feel like justice has been served. Well, today I have with me my special guest today, because he knows about being angry. He knows about being angry better than any black man I know in this world. It's my big brother, my friend and yours, and I call him Mad Negro. That's a super villain. That's a super villain name. Mad Negro. Not Magneto, but Mag Negro. And his special mutant powers is cussing you smooth out. That's his powers. So Slicky Woo Boo is my guest today. Hey Slicky.
Hey y'all, how you doing? How you feeling, sis? I hope everybody's having a great day because I am. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm feeling good.
Okay. Well, that's good. I've been under the weather, but I'm a lot better now, and I thank you. I thank you for
Hey
asking
Molly.
about that. Good morning, Molly Mo. Hey, I got to share this with some more people. So I haven't talked to you really since the holiday, Slicky. How was your thanks of the givings?
Been having a great time over the Thanksgiving holiday. I had a lot of guests. So many guests came through. I wasn't expecting all the guests. And we had a real
Okay.
good time. Yes, we did. We broke some bread and talked some trash. And you know your brother, I talk plenty trash. So I had a ball. I mean, I really did.
Well, I'm glad that you definitely had a ball and had a good time, and none of your guests didn't anger you or cause you to.
Yeah. You want me to tell a story? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my cousin, and I'm gonna give his name, Michael.
Uh-oh.
He came here, right? Now I buys him a pint of liquor. I don't drink liquor anymore because I'm recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
But I buys him a pint of liquor, and he drinks that whole pint of liquor, gets drunk, smokes a couple doobies, and he said, "Well, I'm gone, man, because I want to be home anyway for the Ravens game tomorrow and everything. So I better go now and catch this bus." So I said, "Okay." Meanwhile, he was leaving out the door. Some more of my guests arrived. He came back in, took his coat off, sat down, another 3 hours, got twisted, and then I'm going to ask, am I take him home? Oh, well, you better go hit that busy bus. And that's what he had to do. So that peed me off a little bit. But
Oh,
other than that,
he
everything
just
else went smooth.
well, he just wanted to stay and chit chat with the family.
He on a
I got
freebie.
especially
He was on a freeload tip, sis.
uh
He didn't come with anything, so he was on a freeload tip. He ate 2 times, and I mean, he really
she
sat
said
back
a
and
few
enjoyed himself.
times.
Yeah, he really enjoyed himself.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. I want to do still give a shout out to my girl. I know I'm feeling angry that I may not be able to make her event tonight. Michelle Pucciarelli, she's going to be at the Comedy Laugh Loft tonight, doing her Yes Queen show. She's one of the comedians on the roster, but it depends on how bad I'm feeling. If I can go, because I notice at night I get these coughing spells. I'm still dealing with what I'm getting over, whatever I'm getting over the bronchitis, and I just don't want to be out and then you coughing. And I don't know if anybody know when you got really really bad deep coughs. Sometimes you tinkle on yourself a little bit. You coughing so hard, and and I don't want to, I want to have a little better control of my lungs and my body before I venture out. And I know I will have to wear a mask the whole time that I'm out, due to the COVID and the RSV and all that other stuff I did. You got to keep your distance away. So I want to be safe, and I do not want to get her ill or her sister ill. So I'm looking out for everybody, not just not just me. So if I'm feeling better later on, it depends on how I feel, how my body do today. Hopefully I will be able to join her. I'm not going to get too angry about it because I can't help it. It is what it is. I've been in the house for the last week, other than going to the doctors. I've been in the house, you know uh, dealing with this for the last week. So like I said, the topic of today's show is anger. Hey Lauren, hey Molly. And I was talking to my aunt Ann. Um, I want to share this clip, and then I'm gonna come back and tell her story if she's not in. To tell it. That we just live in an unjust system, a world of things, and I tell you. But let's talk about anger. Let's get into that and how it affects us, and what y'all think about this clip I found for y'all.
Advantage of you or wronged you in some way? Do you get a bubbling feeling in your gut or heat rising in your face? Anger is one of the natural responses to hurt, and depending on how you deal with your emotions, these negative emotions can stay with you for a long time. Prolonged anger can actually be dangerous since it doesn't only affect your mental health, but can also cause physical symptoms like backaches, migraines, and fatigue. When you're extremely furious at someone who's done you wrong, do you secretly wish bad things upon them and hope that they suffer more than you did? You may even think about revenge. However, when we have thoughts like this, it always backfires. Instead of making the person who made us angry suffer, we're actually tormenting ourselves with these negative thoughts. As the saying goes, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting others to die. This is why it's so important to understand our emotions, like anger, where it comes from, the trigger behind it, and how to cope with it in a healthy manner, instead of repressing it or acting upon it impulsively. So, why do we get angry? Anger is actually linked to fear. For instance, you may be angry at someone who had violated your trust or has taken advantage of you. Anger is the reaction and the fear of getting hurt. It's important to have emotions like fear and anger because they let you know when someone has crossed your boundaries or has hurt you emotionally. It's a signal to help you prevent the situation from happening again in the future. However, when you suppress or deal with it in an unhealthy way, these negative feelings can grow more intense. This is also known as repressed anger. So where does repressed anger come from? Why is it so hard to listen to your emotions such as anger and acknowledge it? Do you subconsciously keep telling yourself that you shouldn't feel this way? Well, repressed anger and poor anger management may be learned in childhood. Your parents have a large impact on you as a child, especially in shaping your values, beliefs, and behaviors. This is especially true in how you learn to deal with your emotions. As a child, you may have expressed your anger through tantrums, which your parents may have dealt with by punishing you. From this, you are taught to associate your negative emotions, such as anger, with being bad and unlovable. Therefore, it conditioned you to ignore or to unhealthily express any bad emotions that you felt. Beliefs such as anger is a bad emotion or nobody likes angry people may continue on to adulthood. This causes you to have unhealthy habits where you don't express your emotions in a healthy manner. As a human being, It's natural for you to desire to be loved and accepted. When you end up developing beliefs that associate being angry with being bad, unlovable, and undesirable, it's not a surprise that you'll start to suppress, avoid, or invalidate these negative emotions. But the truth is, your feelings and emotions are trying to tell you something. Feeling anger is a way for your subconscious to protect yourself from pain and hurt. It's your body's way of telling you how you're really feeling about a certain situation. It's a reflection of your mental state of health. And this is why losing touch with your emotions can be harmful. If you're out of touch with these emotions, you might have a hard time identifying whether someone has crossed your boundaries. This might also be one of the reasons why you always find yourself dealing with people who love taking advantage of you longer than you should. Did you find this video insightful? How do you express your emotions? Tell us about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with others who may find it helpful too. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. All the references used are also added in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah. Yep. So that video says a lot. You know, Slicky, what do you think about the video that was just shared with the people?
It was very but with me, I noticed before this stroke, when I was used to get angry, it would give me a heck of a headache. My head would hurt for being so angry. I don't get it now, but back before the stroke, my head used to hurt. I would be had a terrible headache for pain.
Hmm.
But it's not a thing. It's not healthy. I knew that much.
Because anger, that's holding on to that emotion, and it lets us know that something not right. You know, it's one of our senses, our indicators. Now, the Bible don't say, you know, if you go back to the Bible, scripturally speaking, the Bible didn't say it was a sin to anger. It said, anger, but sin not. That means you don't have to wrath. Everybody get mad. That's a natural feeling, but you don't have to act out or take it in your own hands. You know, some of us tend to go a little overboard, but it lets us know when our body, our mental is having enough. Sometimes we have a mental breakdown, and being angry is like, okay, this is the last straw. I can't take it no more. Because we as humans take it on, build on, pile up everybody else's BS in the world, right? And then it gets so bad that we want to explode. We should be able to deal when somebody makes us uncomfortable, when somebody put us unease, or when somebody cause us hurt or pain. We should be able to express that before it gets to the point where we want to explode and hurt somebody. We gotta anger is a good tool. What, you know, you're getting mad, you're getting angry, and we got to learn how to defuse and deflect and put that anger in the right category or place it where it needs to be placed. There's nothing worse than having displaced anger. I'm gonna share a story about what happened to my aunt. Well, you know, she came up to visit me back in September. So on her way going home, she's going home to North Carolina. One morning, um, the police pulls her over and said that she was doing 165 mile. Right? She got stopped down there in Virginia. Okay, she comes to court, you know, to get her hearing and everything, and points on the license or whatever, and pay the fine. She said she knows she had to pay a fine. She said, but she did not understand why they gave her fine. Then they told her they want her to take driver's classes. She's 63 years old. Okay, she know how to drive. She was just speeding. She said there was no one else on the road. She wasn't putting anybody else in danger. But if you go that limit, they call it reckless endangerment, even though nobody else was involved or anything, or no crime has been committed. Okay. Um, they give her, she got to take the class. Okay, that's more money. They give her a fine, that's more money. But then the kicker is she's in North Carolina. They want to hit her with 10 days in jail on top of finding her and giving her all of this. I'm like, wow. And she's upset because she's like, what is the point of you all giving me 10 days in jail. I have a job I have to work. You want your fine and you want me to take these classes and you want me to do all of this. I need money to do so. But you lock me up for 10 days. You're taking away my livelihood. Not only are you taking away my livelihood for that job, but you're potentially messing me up for any future endeavors and stuff or whatever have you. And my thing is why? Why is this judge going the max? And I told her, I said, let's get the name of this judge. She said that he was a rebbish guy. He was a Caucasian judge, mean, rebbish. And I'm like, is that he is he angry because he see your black skin in his court and he wants you to really pay? Do you really got to do all of that? You're not no young whippersnapper. You're not going to be out there. You was just trying to get home, trying to make it home. But it wasn't enough that you get fined. It wasn't enough that you had to take these classes. It wasn't enough that you got points on your driver's license and all that. They also want to do all of that and lock you up for 10 days. And then I found out by doing some little digging and research that when they lock you up, do you know you have to pay for that? You have to pay when they lock you up. I did not know that at all. And I'm like, wow, what are we voting into when we vote into these laws? Do we let people treat us? Are we saying you can treat us any old kind of way? I don't care. Or these people that we point into office as these judges and stuff. Do you really think that that's fair for that lady?
Well, I don't.
It makes no sense. I'm like, so she's so angry behind this, and she's like, what can she do? And she's feeling like that. I mean, if y'all people out there, are y'all listening? What can she do? Did anybody else know anything else about the law? Who else is out there looking and listening? Where my folks at? Do, can they do that? I mean, is that lawful what the judge is doing? Well, I know on December the 20th, she has to go back to court to appeal it. And so I hope that her attorney that she has appeal it and she comes out without having to do any jail time. I was like, wow, that's really steep. That
That's
that
the thing.
yeah, that's
Excuse
real
me.
steep.
Excuse me, but that's the thing she wants. She don't want to have to do no jail time. And at her age too, that's not fair to her. She doesn't deserve to do any jail time. I see a little. To me, this is me now, not nobody else of the Morning Mac show. This is Slicky. I feel racism is some who game.
Yep, I feel that too. And because the attorney, she said when they was in court, the attorney made the comment like the arresting officer was like, "Oh, you don't get no jail time," and the judge was like, "You don't tell me what to do in my court. This is my court. I do what I want to do." And he was flexing and gave this lady 10 days. Really, was the judge having a bad day? Did he have some displaced anger? And that you got to ask yourself. So she said that she was watching people, criminals, thieves, people that was committing assault and battery, coming out of there with no jail time at all. But then they got to her and want to give her 10 days. All I can
That's
say,
terrible.
wow.
I think that's really, really sad. That could be his grandmother, his great grandmother. I mean,
Oh,
people
it
with
wouldn't be
mixed
his because they
feelings.
two different colors.
I'm just saying, they gotta think though. Gotta put a little bit of feelings if you don't want to put a whole lot, but you gotta put a little bit into it. I mean, would you want to be standing there and seeing your grandmother, your great grandmother, going to jail for 10 days for speeding?
We're doing a 35 over the speed limit. Whew. No, 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 you wouldn't. You can't see that. You gave him the fine, you gave him the citation, you gave them the points, and you even made him take driver's class. And then you want to add insult on injury by taking her job away from her, because what job gonna hold your place for while you go to jail for 10 days? Oh well, what you got to go to jail for? For speeding, of all the things in the world to get locked up for. You didn't do no crime against nobody or anything like that, but you got speeding ticket and you got to go to jail. When you got killers out here on arraignment on bond, people uh out here walking around that did a whole lot more. It just
Yeah.
it just blows my mind. And society lets that. It seems like society focuses more on the sin that people are doing and allowing every reason under the sun for bad misbehavior. It's like they award bad behavior. And when you're trying to do something right or something good, you get the short end of the stick. It's like they're making it, everything is backwards. Everything is, and you got to really take a step back and look at this. And this is enough to make you angry and to get sick of the way everything is in this world. And that's why we got to get out of there. That's why we got to get out here and vote and change and do something. Because if we just sit back and say, oh, that's a shame, but we don't do nothing, then we're part of the problem. We need to be part of some of these solutions. Get these judges' butts out of here. Just like that judge was voted in, vote that judge out. Get these Republicans and these Democrats that's not doing the job for the people. Get their butts out of here. You don't like them, vote them out. Everybody got a turn. You know, get these congressmen, get these senators that's been in serving forever. Them same old timey ways. Vote they butt out. You could do it. People just gotta not be fearful and do it. Take back what they know is theirs. Society got a whole bunch of ills and wills. This stuff has really changed from when we was coming up. And then you see all of this killing going around, all of these mass shootings and stuff, and people are now. Can you say, are they angry, or is that a part of that mental factor? I believe it goes hand in hand. What you think, Slicky, about being mental and angry at the same time?
Well, that seems to be the new thing now that I'm seeing. When somebody do something that's wrong, that's the first thing they holler. Well, he's mental, or he has some type of, or she has some type of mental problem. I mean, I'm hearing it too much. I mean, some people are just born and just like on angry things. I have a neighbor down the street from me. This woman, I think she wakes up just angry and just ugh. I don't think it has nothing to do with her mental because I just don't. But they're quick to use that. Oh well, he has mental problems. I don't know. But I will say this. You know, the elderly. You got to be a little lean with the elderly. I mean, come on. I'm still sitting here saying, why would he give this woman 10 days at her age
Hmm.
in prison?
And wasn't no other cars or
I,
nothing on the road. You know,
it
she.
just seemed like the man being the man, and y'all know what man I'm talking about. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
we
say it
know
because I
what
don't want
man.
to go in trouble, but y'all know
The
what man I'm
man.
talking about.
Look, the man. We know. But you know what? It's funny. Like Lawrence said, he said that it's wrong on so many levels. When you got these people coming out here due to gun violence, and the government is wrong about someone speeding, is worried about somebody. Yeah, you worried about somebody speeding, but what about this gun violence, these mass? shootings and stuff out here. People, like I said, I could shoot you today, Slicky, and get off. But if I go down your street speeding, I'm getting locked up. That's messed up. That's messed. You putting value on the human life. You say, oh, you could have hurt, you could have killed somebody. Yeah, really? You know,
Well, you should know our lives as blacks has no meaning to them. You know, they don't put no meaning on our lives. Now, we kill one of them, then there's a meaning, but our lives to them have no meaning.
right. Unfortunately, that's unfortunate truth.
Like Lauren is saying here, she lost her nephew, and the killer hasn't been found yet. You know why the killer hasn't been found, Lauren? And it's sad to say they ain't looking that hard. I'm gonna be very honest with you. They ain't looking that hard. They
Mm,
not. Now, and if your nephew had been one of them, oh, that killer would have been found by now.
mm. If your nephew would have been, if somebody would have stole a cat or a dog, they would have caught that napper quicker than they do the killers. Peter ain't playing. Peter on it. Those people are angry for them pets, but your life don't have no more value than a cat or a dog. A cat or a dog is worth more than your life. An animal, which
That's
they
why
call an
we say
animal.
that. Sis. They showed us that without a football player. When they found out that he was fighting, let them use his facilities to fight them pit bulls. What they do to him?
Mike, you mean Mike Vick?
Yeah.
But that's humane. That's okay. We know it's humane against animals, but what about the humanity against humans being unhumane towards each other as humans
There's
being
none for us. There's none for us. And what makes it so sad is we don't even have none for each other. That's what really makes it sad. That we'll jump out here and jump at each other at a drop of a dime.
because they desensitized us. They show us, they put this stuff when you parade stuff in front of people so long, it's no longer shocking or ooh, they desensitized us. Like I'm gonna give you an example, like with cussing. When we was little kids, we wouldn't dare say cuss words, right? Now they got cuss words on TV, cartoon, prime time. It ain't nothing to say cuss words. Do you remember when we was kids, we was growing up, and another child said a cuss word, all the other kids be like, "Oh, he cuss," and you wouldn't do it. Say dare say a cuss word in front of an adult. Now the kids cussing the adults out. Listen, Lisa, listen. You this and that. I mean, it is times are really changed, and woo, it's really something. They desensitize the kids. That's why they're playing all these video games, Grand Theft Auto, where they can go up to you in these video games, shoot you in your face, and keep walking. Well, they taking it one step further. They going up to people in real life, shooting them in their face and walking off, and like no feelings there. All of this violence in these games and the cartoon, and I was like, wow. I tell
And
you.
then what people and certain people that have to understand, what we all need to have to understand is your environment can make you angry too. The environment you grow up in can have a lot to do with your anger, because a lot of people, some people are not strong as other people. So if they grow up in certain environments, they can be angry, because of that environment, So there's a lot of
But
reasons for anger. Anger comes in all different kind of ways.
you can't let your environment be the reason. I'm gonna give you an example. Say somebody come and knock you down. Do we stay down or do we get up? We get up, right? We get up, and
Yeah.
because they knocked us down, they made us get up ready to fight and strike blows to make us try even harder. We don't stay down, but I see this younger generation, they get down and they stay down. It's like they wallow in being depressed. They wallow in being down. They wallow in being angry. They want to hold on to that anger. I don't want to be angry, Slick. I don't want to be angry because when I get angry physically, it affects me. When I get angry mentally, it affects me physically. It gets in my body. It wears you down. That is a very harsh emotion that will exhaust you. And I don't need nobody, first of all, that had that kind of control or power over me. Like that lady in that video said, she said anger is like you're taking poison and expecting other people to die. Or I'm gonna drink this poison. I'm gonna fix you, Slicky. I'm gonna drink this poison, and then I'm looking at you to watch the wait for you to die. It don't happen like that. You're gonna be hurting yourself with all that repressed anger. That's why we gotta let it go. It don't hurt the people that you angry with. They going on with their life because they don't even care. But it's you that hold on to those bitter feelings. It's you that hold on to those ill wishes. It's you that hold on to that strife. It's you that it'll eat to the core like a cancer. So I'm learning. I get upset. I do. So I gotta learn to when I get
Well,
upset, let it go, and then continue to love. Continue to love.
well, for me, I know a lot of ways that I handle anger has a lot to do with the way I was raised and how I seen my ancestors handle anger. So a lot of ways that I handle anger has to do with that. That doesn't make it right because I should still know better and learn from seeing them do it. But sometimes you forget. I will say that sometimes you forget. And a lot of times with me, I notice I'll get angry, and in the middle of while I'm angry, I'll think about it. So what am I so angry for? It's stupid. I'm sitting here all anged up, and that person going on with their life, and lolly dee lolly da, and I'm sitting here all pouted out, mad, and ready to fight, and all that unnecessary stuff. And you ain't doing nothing but running your pressure up, damaging your body, and different stuff. You don't realize what you're doing to yourself. But we do it.
Yeah. Don't cause nobody to make you have no stroke. When people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you make me stroke out," that's true. I've seen people fall out, get so mad, so angry, where a vessel busts in their brain, called bleed on the brain, get an aneurysm. I don't want that. I've seen people get so mad with that little vein in their neck bulge out, or that vein in the middle of their head bulge out. It ain't that serious. You ain't got to turn to the credible walk on me, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to turn to a green gamma ray monster. What's going to happen? You're going to bust a blood vessel, and your lights are going to be the one out. So we got to control that for our safety and their safety, because I have had instances where I actually blacked out and not remember. And that's dangerous, because that lets me know that you totally let somebody make you lose your mind frame where you don't even remember. That's a dangerous thing to be that angry and black out like that, because you could actually kill somebody and don't know. Be that angry, and you don't mean to hurt nobody or whatever, but it's because you're not taking control of your emotions, or you're not paying attention to the proper steps that is taking you to get angry. It's like you just don't get angry like bam. It's levels to it. And if you're not paying attention when stuff making you uncomfortable again, when it makes you uncomfortable, when stuff making you fearful, when stuff making you worry, when stuff making next thing you know, you're off the chain. We got to give anger its voice that it has. Now, it's like I said, it's no sin, and being angry, everybody get mad, but it's the sin when you start rafting, when you start taking it in your own hands. That's what make that become a sin. When you become violent with it, when you start hurting people, or causing pain to other individuals. That's what I'm learning. But if we could just learn to baby step and then decompress when it first get on the scene, you're like, hey, excuse me, I didn't like what you just did. You cut in front of me in line, and that made me feel like you didn't even see me. Instead of saying, hey, you B, Look what you did. You did this. You know, there's always a better way you can handle something. It
It's,
always is what you think about it. Like, excuse me, you stepped on my shoe. You know, or they're like, hey, you strumpet. Don't you see me standing here? Did you see my shoes? Oh, now I gotta mess you up. You know, gotta scuffle my shoe. You know, stuff like that. Anger.
I don't know if you and the viewers have seen this thing that they show on TikTok where these guys go around in markets and like Walmart and different places like that. And they just do little stupid stuff to see a person's anger, right? And it's so wild that even though it's like certain situations that they be showing, they get hit with something and they can see other stuff coming over the ledge like someone else is throwing it. They still go after that person that's in the aisle thinking that that person did it, you know. And I'm like, boy, anger is something. Look how mad that person is to run at that person, but stuff is still flying over the aisle. So how you gonna blame that person, saying that that's the person that did it? But that's anger. Anger makes you not think, you know.
Right. Not pay attention to your surroundings, not being aware, not knowing that it didn't come straight, it came from up over the head. And if you look up, there's something else to come over. And the guy is standing in front. I seen that video. I seen the one where he act like he on the phone and he be saying stuff to people. They be like, "What? What you say?" He be like he see a girl with a big butt, and he was like, "Dang, she got such and such," you know. And the girl or the guy sometimes they would, "What would you say?" Or did you see the one where he was hitting people with his cart?
Yeah.
And then,
And then
and
I
then
seen one where the guy said something about, oh, there's some good looking honey buns. And the guy grabbed him and he pointed. He said, the guy got the honey buns in his hand. The guy was standing there with the honey buns.
yeah, thinking that it'd be his woman or some stuff, you know. And they were like, "What?" And there was one that was hilarious. There was this guy. He was acting like he was blind, and he was down the aisle getting something. And then they look, he was swinging. He was fighting the dude, act like he was fighting. And then those be funny. But
But that's to
yeah,
show us what anger can cause and does. That's why they make those videos to show us, you know, this is what anger does. This is what anger can cause, you know. But some of us pay attention, some of us don't.
yeah, some of us get angry and want to fight anyway, and then they get found out that you're making a video, and they get angry behind that. Who told you to take me? Did nobody tell you to do this? You know, and want to fight you because they got the video doing up there, doing that thing. Yes, indeed.
But
Well,
I'm gonna tell you something. I had an older uncle. He's deceased now. This guy was, I mean, you talk about me, sister, my anger. This guy had pure anger. I mean, it took nothing for him to fly off the handle. And once he was off the handle, get out the way. I mean, he was pure angry. That's why he spent the majority of his life when he was living in prison because he was just pure angry. I didn't understand how he had a wife and kids because I mean he was pure angry.
did you ever find out where it came from? Why he was so upset?
I said it came from my grandmother, but which was his mother. But my grandmother wasn't that angry. My grandmother was the nicest person you ever wanted to meet until you did something wrong to her. That's when she became angry. But he was just naturally angry. I mean, he walked around, just angry. I think he needed a little help or something, really, to be that angry. You just on a norm.
You know,
I
a
ain't
lot
gonna
of us.
lie. I was scared of him. I'm gonna be very honest. I wouldn't go around because I was halfway scared of that man. Because I say he jumped at me, I'm just going on it, bang bang, because he's gone. I
A
mean, he
lot
got.
of
I would see him get out in the street, assist and fight policemen like, bring it on, and he's out there in the
he
middle,
sound
and
like he crazy. He sound like there was something else over there with
something.
that
I mean, he
anger.
was very angry. you know.
Was he
And
in the military?
I asked God to forgive me. He's one uncle I don't miss.
Hmm.
I do not miss him because he had some anger issues.
Was he in the military?
Nope.
No. Maybe something
He,
happened to him in his childhood. See, a lot of
they
times
do.
we keep repressed feelings behind and try to bury them instead of exposing and letting it out because it's healthy and it drives and it feeds anger like a cancer. It'll
My
feed on your soul.
talk about military. I do want to bring this up. Military messed a lot of guys up. You know, one of my uncles that was in the military. You know him, Reese. It when he came home from Vietnam, he was really messed up. I mean, we could be sitting there and we watch the TV, and a war picture or something come on TV. He would get up and run up in the room and put his stuff on. Come downstairs. He got the broomstick. He crawling on the floor. Something up. Come on. You know, and I used to look at. I'd run out the house. There's something wrong with him.
Well, you know, when I was talking to him, he was telling me that he seen his platoon members get killed by women and children, and he had to fight women and children for his life. I mean, that would really mess up a person. You know, it's either me war. War
I
is
don't know if you remember when you interviewed him on that other show you had, and he got to talking that I eased on down to the end of the table. I didn't really know what he was going to do. You
I
know,
thought you was just down there just tapping your fingers and drinking and eating, you know. I didn't know you was getting out of Dodge.
I eased on down to the end of the table. You know, but to put somebody in that war situation, I bet that was a heck of a situation. You know, you couldn't even go up to a kid would kill you. Mm.
Yeah. That you know, I mean, how would you feel? You know, you see your platoon members getting taken out by women. They shooting at you, trying to kill you, and women and children with bombs and stuff. I guess it would be fright. I mean, you know, who could you trust after that? Because you're like, I don't believe what I'm seeing. You know, he's an inner city youth who gets thrown in the middle of a jungle. Vietnam War wasn't good for nobody. Get thrown in the middle of a jungle to fight for what they don't even know. They still don't know today what they was fighting for. And you served your country, but then you come back to your country and your country treats you like crap. That would anger me. That would I put my
Yeah,
love, my life, and sweat on the line, and when I get back home, you treat me like some garbage.
yeah, because they got a raw deal when they got back. That was totally raw.
Yeah, a lot of them still get raw deals when they come back. I got a friend that he was in Desert Storm. That's when they was after Saddam Hussein. He said they shot them up with all kinds of because they said it was germ warfare then, and they shot them up with all kinds of medicines and stuff and all that. And he has night terrors and night sweats even now, and which is it's not good. Wait a minute, hold on one second. Go to a commercial. One second.
Oh, where you leaving? It's the Slicky Woo Boo show, y'all. How you do, Slicky Woo? Is here to talk to you. To Lady Reese come back. How we feeling today? We're discussing anger. And anger can be a real tricky thing. Real tricky. Because I've seen people that can be angry and know how to play it off. Like nothing is wrong with them, but they're really angry.
Whew.
Oh, there's Reese. She's back. All right, sis, I held it down for you.
Thank you, thank you. We're getting ready to. I had to get ready to leave out of here today because, you know, you guys know I was in an accident on November the 11th.
We're getting a new car. We're getting a new car.
Well, I don't know. We trying to look and trying to make it happen, but it's okay. Right now, it's a bunch of cleanup. We have to go like get the tags off the old car and run around the motor vehicles and insurance stuff, information, all that stuff like that. it's just a bunch of headache, and it's hard for me right now because I'm still not 100%, and I'm out. I have to run around in the
Are
cold and
you?
do what I gotta do.
I
I
don't
do what
mean
I
to
gotta
cut
do.
you. Are you reading what Lauren said? That's true. What she just said there, or it's up on the screen. She says that's why I don't do social media because things like that is sending the wrong message to the younger generation, and that's not the way grown people supposed to act. Yeah, that's a true statement. That's why I mean, some of the stuff you see on here on this media stuff is, especially after 9 o'clock at night. Go on here after 9 o'clock at night, you see all kinds of crazy stuff here. Yes, you do. I mean,
Mm.
from I seen one time somebody was shooting out they was shooting the had the camera in the window, but they were shooting up and down the block. I mean, for like a half an hour before the cops came.
Mm. Now, how many people you think they could have killed in that time they was hitting people? Anybody? It's just crazy. And then you have, okay, half of the people want to defund the police, and then the other half of the people want to fund the police. That's why we need police officers for lawlessness like that, running up and down, shooting, these young folks shooting and killing and stuff. We do need officers, but we need the right kind of officers that's really going to be in there to serve and protect. You know what I mean? Because it's like certain neighborhoods is well protected versus some other neighborhoods may not be as protected, especially up here in the DMV. I'm just gonna say some certain areas or certain wards you get better protection because there's different people in those living in those wards. But when you get to more people of my color living in the wards in this community full of us, it's like we get less protection. It's like, oh, they fend for themselves.
Well, here in Baltimore, down you go down, we have a harbor here, which I call it Schaefer's Harbor because he's the one when he was the mayor here, put all that together. Now you can't do nothing down there. You go down there thinking you're gonna steal something or start something unnecessary trouble. You going straight to jail because it's well protected, you know. But yet you got the squeegee boys busting people upside the head and all that kind of stuff, you know.
The squeegee boys is supposed to protect the neighborhood too, huh?
I mean, no, the police should be stopping them from doing the stuff that they're doing. But I may be wrong for saying this, but I gotta keep saying it. They have yet to hurt a black person. They have yet to hurt a black person. Everybody who's been doing this stuff too is of a different race.
Mm, wow. Boy, I tell
It's
you now.
something. This world we live in, we don't realize that God is letting us see this for the little while that we're seeing it to appreciate it, not to tear it up. And all we're doing is tearing it up, you know. And I'm not just saying us as blacks, I'm saying the races, period.
Period. All across the,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're just tearing it up, you know.
And what we doing it for is not all of us. It's the greedy ones because they want to control it. This world is big enough and could encompass us. And if we live the way God intended us to live, we could all live peacefully. But the rich want to be richer, and the poor, they want you to stay poor, and they want to stand on your neck because they want servants. They want to be on the upper echelon. They wanted to be waited on. So they created this system where finances and money and all that. If they made every man equal and they go back to trading stuff, trading goods, if you knew how to do one thing, you traded for this or you could trade it for that. This would be a totally different type place. I don't believe there should be no billion and trillionaires. Even though they say, "Oh, we work for this money, we work for that." Look, the state of Maryland gives you a cap on everything. Why don't they put a cap on being rich? They don't put a cap on being rich
But you
because
gotta think
if
about
you
this,
know,
sis. You gotta think about this. Who's putting the cap? Who's the one that came up with the cap and all that kind of stuff? The rich.
the rich, the
You
rich,
know.
they decide the ceiling and they decide what the floor is. Yes, they do.
Uh, us as the black race has to realize that we need to come together and we need to stick together because the other races are not out to give us any kind of leeway or give us anything. And once we realize that, then we'll start getting along and getting doing things for each other and becoming a excellent race among ourselves and stuff. But as long as we keep it going like it's going, we're playing right in their hand, right in their hand.
We doing something, and it ain't been working for us this thus far. You know, it used to work a long time ago. It was working for us. Everybody was doing great, but the other powers that be tore our communities down to rubble. That as to where every time we try to build and erect something for our community and our pillars, it gets knocked down. And you
Yeah,
know what I
because
mean.
I heard so
You
many
know,
people talk about since Marley was the first one I ever heard talk about Black Wall Street. But since Marley taught me about Black Wall Street, I've heard so many people. I mean, not all like famous people, just people in general talking about Black Wall Street. And that's wild how they came along and burnt that place down, you know. And
but it
we stood back and did nothing.
there's so much so many other countries that they not countries sorry black communities that they ride in, and they flooded towns, and we got lakes where towns used to be at the bottom of the lake. Okeechobee, Florida. It's all over the continent where these were black communities that were thriving, that were either burnt out, flooded out, or destroyed, and they just built stuff over it. They took it away from, and then they get no repercussion, no nothing, because they was doing it to ex slave, to former slaves. You
My thing
know,
is, I mean, and I say it, including me too, because I have some nasty ways and stuff I need to get over and stop doing a lot of little nasty and crazy stuff that I do. I know that, but nobody's perfect. But we as a race need to get together because going the way we going, after a while we're gonna mess around and be extinct.
yeah. Whoo, we don't know how long left we got. We don't know how
Yeah.
long we how much left. But I do know that this book is still available. Shades of Blue by A.M. Morning. You can go right now and order a book and order you a 8 ounce jar of sea moss. A $30 value, retail value for only $20. This book is a good book. So if you guys haven't ordered it, it's on Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million, Amazon. It's on any place that anywhere that sells books. And if you want to get the digital download, you can download the book. Y'all need to get that. It's some good reading. You know, make sure y'all got the first book before the second book is coming out next year. But make sure you got the good book, and you're gonna be wanting this one. It's a good reading. It's a good story and everything. So yeah, helped us enlighten our mind a little bit. Uh, just pull away from the boob tube a little bit. You know, we watch too much television and all that propaganda, that artificial news. Need to read something a little different. Feel different, feel good story. A little something something. Sometimes. Slick, you want to get them and leave them with something?
Um, Cut out the anger. It ain't that bad. Love somebody. Love somebody.
That's right.
Uh, just stop the violence, y'all.
Stop the violence. And the only thing I got to say to that is tomorrow's Freaky Friday. Ain't nobody get mad on a Freaky Friday. So, and if you would like to be part of the Freaky Friday panel, get at your girl. Hit me and Molly. Let us know so we can make that happen. And anyone is welcome to the forum. It's just where people ask questions, people talk about whatever it is that's on your mind, or whatever it is that grinds your gears. So it could be about anything what you want to talk about or ask, but just be respectable to each other. Respect each other. So that's all I'm saying. So DJ Slicky Woo Boo, thank you for being my special guest today. I
No
love you.
problem.
Hey, you doing double duty today because today is your day on Tom Mo show too, right?
Yep. You will see me on the Tom Mo show at 1 o'clock, y'all.
1 o'clock.
There.
Be there. Hopefully, I can get back in time enough to do all this stuff. I got to get out here in this cold and get to running, y'all. That's funny. Me get to running. But anyway,
Wrap up. Wrap up.
definitely, yeah. Yeah, because it is cold. It's hawking out there. I love y'all. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Thank you, Lauren. I love you. Okay, Molly. Where my bro?